Hey everybody and welcome to the Bullshit Party. And today we're going to be looking at the new ETR1 Podium car. But not only are we going to be looking at it, but we're also going to be answering the question, can it drift? To give you a little bit of an insight on what the car is, it's a rear-wheel drive sports car that took its inspiration from the Lexus LFA. It has good power, good traction and good brakes, and as you can see, it has a pretty large engine in the front. And as you can probably tell, I've already been to Los Santos Custom, so I've already customized this car and maxed out all its performance options. And aside from not being able to close its hood, it's been excellent. There we go, I guess that was performance anxiety. And if you're watching this video around the time it was released, this is the lucky wheel car for the week. This means that you can get this $2 million car for free this week if you win it on the lucky wheel. And if you want to do that, I'm gonna include a tutorial right here on how to do so. But anyway, back to the video, and as I make my way back to the road, I see that the car has a lot of potential in terms of drifting. It's very slidey, very fun, and very powerful, as I said in the beginning. And of course, being a rear-wheel drive car, it makes it a lot easier to kick the tail out and do a drift. Of course, the motto here is do as I say, not as I do, so pretend you didn't see that and let's continue. I'm actually pleasantly surprised to see how much fun this is to drive on gravel, but the question is, how well is it gonna perform on the road? There looks to be a lot of traffic here, but I don't think it's gonna be a problem. Or maybe it is. And before I get dragged out of the car and beat up, I decide to split. So at this point, I think we need a dedicated area to test the drifting in. Cue my old stomping ground, the docks. And in case you're curious exactly where it is and you want to replicate what I'm doing or you want to play in the same area, this is where it's located. And finally, at the docks, no more traffic and let's drift. Anyway, I'm not gonna let that hold me down, so let's just plow through and I'm gonna show you the rest of the course. So we continue on straight, and after the container we're gonna go left, so we go below the crane, and then we're gonna go right, so we go back on the road and crash. Let's try something else. Let's try to do the course first with a vehicle that's meant for drifting. Cue the Drift Yosemite. I know that this vehicle can drift, but first, let's not be savages and go around the track so I can show you where everything is. And as I said earlier, if you like the course, which I'm sure you will, you can do this by yourself since I already show you where the location is. This is technically the first corner right here between the crane and the trailer. Then we have a little bit of a straight where I try to go right to the road, and then we go left here between the container and the lighting pole. This corner is tricky because it can be done in one of two ways. Either you can drift through the entire corner or you need to separate it with one small break in between. The straight here is pretty simple. You go left to the containers, below the bridge, then right back to the road, and this is the final right, and there we have it, one lap. And what you're looking at right now is a couple of laps in. This is probably my best lap with the Drift Yosemite. As you can see, every corner is perfection and there are no crashes here. And I emphasize here because I did crash a lot, because probably most of you know I'm not the best driver in the world. And if we didn't have the truck there, I would have drifted throughout the entire corner, but it is what it is. Again, if we didn't have the truck here, I would have started drifting a little bit sooner, but for all intents and purposes, this was perfectly fine. And see, I didn't crash this time. Yeah, this was probably my 4th or 5th lap, something like that. But anyway, we're done with the Yosemite drift. It's time to go back to the ETR1 and see what it's capable of. And to give you some idea what it's like to drift the ETR1 on the road, well, as you can see, it's not very slidey. And being able to kick the back end is pretty important when it comes to drifting, since that's what it is. And I promise you, this time it's not me, it's the car. I know I've said that before, but this time I really mean it. I've tried my hardest to make this thing slide, but it just didn't. It's not meant to. It's not made to. It's a sports car. It's meant to go in straight ways and to take tight corners. And then, I had an idea. I remember a couple of years ago, I stunted, or did something to my car to make it slipperier. I really don't remember the correct terminology for it, but it really doesn't matter. What you had to do was shoot the rim of the tire until the car dropped down a little bit, and you had to do this for all 4 tires. As I said, it's been a minute since I've done this, and I believe you had to shoot it 10 times for each tire or something like that. So that's basically what I did. I prepared my toes and fingers and started counting. And while we're making our car more, well, driftier, please don't forget to leave a like on the video if you like it. And if you don't, make sure to tell me in the comment section down below, but also like it. At this point I was getting, well, a little bit impatient, and well, it was inevitable. And you know what? I actually think that's a great ending to the video. The ETR1 is a great street car, but it's not meant for drifting. Thanks to everyone who watched the video, hopefully you liked it, and if you did, you didn't forget to leave a like. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, a lot more cool stuff to come in the future. And I will be going to sleep with the fishes. So, I'll catch you next time.